We're looking at the United States here, the Altar Valley, and then that road there is along the American side of the wall, and that's where it ends at the end of the dirt that you see in the, those are the West Mountains down there, because it stops at the mountains because, first of all, vehicles can't drive through it, and they thought it was deterrence through death is actually what they were doing, and it didn't work. But a lot of people have died, you know, and they were saying last night the low estimate is 6,000. They think it's probably much higher because of all the people that have been reported missing that they've never found. And they always, that's why when we find bodies, we, you know, report it immediately and hopefully it gives closure to the family. If there's no water there, we'll leave all the water we brought. Okay. And you put dates on it.
Got an empty one.
So while some of you stay here, pick up trash, I can go down with whoever wants to go down with me.
Okay, so this is the water drop, and this is where we usually stop here.
And then I'll stop. So we looked to see if the seal was broken. Is the seal broken on this? No, but the water is empty. So how did it get out?
Is there a hole?
This one was slashed. So go ahead and take the video too, Mama.
I'm going to leave the shelf here in hopes that someone will find this water that I also left, and that they'll not only drink the water, but that they'll also know that we're thinking of them still. I don't think it's going to stay there. Maybe it'll stay in the tree for a long time.
Talk about the legalities. You hear Lupe talk about the history. You'd hear John Fife talk about the sanctuary movement and the start of this movement, civil initiative. We do not practice civil disobedience. That's a totally different thing. He said that the government's actually one the breaking the law and being disobedient. We are actually doing something creative and important. We are doing civil initiative. So we do not refer to it as civil disobedience. So if anybody says, isn't that civil disobedience? And you go, no, it's civil initiative that they're practicing. When I ran into these 26 asylum seekers the other day, oh my God, they were already in bad shape and they'd only been walking 2.5 hours and they were sweating bullets and they had on, hardly anybody had shoes. They had like loafers and leather-soled shoes, and one older man had, it looked like his best clothes he owned. His, you know, his good slacks. They're dressed nice. You know, the one guy spoke fairly decent English from Guatemala. They were all from Guatemala and Honduras, and they'd spent 2 months already getting to the States, and they had been walking since they crossed 2.5 hours. They thought they'd have run into a border patrolman by that point, and they hadn't. And I actually had to drive a ways up, back up the hill, and get to a high point to call him. And the border patrol guy goes, I said, I'm on Forest Service Road 601. We don't go by Forest Service numbers.
Good Lord.
Of course not. We have our own system. And I go, well, get a Forest Service map. And I said, and one of your towers is behind me. And he goes, well, they don't all have cameras. Well, check. So and this is a supervisor. So he checks, and he goes, are you in a red Forerunner? And I go, yeah. And he goes, okay, we see you, but we don't see the people. I said, you'll find them when you're here. Well, stay there so we could find you, so we could find them. And I said, trust me, I'm not staying here. I'm going back and tell them what's going on. and you can't miss them. They're in the road, for heaven's sakes, and
You
it's
said
the
like
only road that
26
goes
of
up
them?
there. Yeah.
26.
And the youngest was 11 months old.
Oh my.
And that was the most frightening thing, because when I got out of the car, the first thing I see was his father holding this limp baby in his arms. And I just went, oh my God. And I grabbed my ice out and I go like this on the baby, and I told him to do that. Not to leave it because I was afraid of burning it, but I wanted to bring the temperature, start bringing the temperature down. And I had 2 doctors with me. And I go, Dr. John, get over here. And by the time we left, that baby was alert again, and its temperature was 96. So it showed that it worked. We do, and all the adults pretty much wanted Tylenol. They were having headaches already, and they're starting. And I've heard nurses say when we're doing something like this, a lot of you are probably already getting first stages of dehydration and don't realize it, because it just happens so fast. People don't know what's going on. And only one of them was unaccompanied minor. He's 17. The rest of them were family units, either mother and child, father and child, or complete unit, where I had the baby, mother and father were there with the 11-month-old son. But when I'll show you the picture, especially Linda in the back seat. You know, the father, the look on his face, you know, he was really concerned, because his baby was just hanging there, limp in his arms. I was scared. That's it, you know, I get scared for that kind of stuff, you know. And my adrenaline's pumping. It always does when you run into people and you're trying to help everybody, and everybody wants food and water, and you know, and I did, like I said, I have the bottles of ice and the ice packs in there too. They're hard, but hey, put them under their arm, put them behind their neck. It's going to cool up, bring down their body temperature, because you got to cool them off. You know that, right?
So, are you, when you found somebody in that extreme condition, are you allowed to put them in the car and blast the air?
Only if we can't get a hold of 911 and they're not conscious. Then we can put them in the vehicle, and you keep calling and saying, I'm in a red 4Runner, I'm going northeast on
No, but I mean,
Forest Service
yeah,
Road 601, please intercept.
Yeah.
Then you're protected yourself. But we're not supposed to even put them in the car,
Right.
because it could be construed as aiding and abetting
Right.
in furthering their presence into the United States. Like, hear anecdotal stories constantly about, my brother said he lived because he found your water. I had somebody tell me that the other day when I was in Mexico. We found your water. Thank you so much.